Well, Steve, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Down here on the floor with the head coach of the Monmouth Hawks, Coach King Rice. And Coach Rice, a tremendous win here for your team, outscoring Fordham in the second half by 14. Ultimately, you get this 9-point win, 87-78. Just talk about your team, what they did that second 20 minutes that ultimately ended in victory.
Well, first off, you gotta take your hat off to Fordham. They really did a good job scouting us and guarding us and making us not play like ourselves for a little while. But today was a thing where our kids kept believing. They just kept fighting. They didn't get down. We kept doing the things we were supposed to do, and then we had a breakthrough. And I thought if we could get the lead that we might be able to get away from them, and we were able to do that.
Coach, your team was down by as many as 13 in the second half. As you said, just keep coming back and coming back. And when you look at the stat sheet at the end of it, it was a few players that led you, but specifically Max DiLeo made some huge plays down the stretch. We're going to talk to Max soon, but just talk about what he meant to your team in the second half.
Well, I think everybody was believing, but Max is just that kid. He always outworks guys. He wanted to guard Severe. He seems to get his hands on so many balls. But the thing about Max is he had a great summer. He's shooting the ball great, and he really can attack the rim. So when he gets to the rim on those moves and gets around somebody and lays it in, he's probably the only guy on our team that can get that done.
And, Coach, now you send your team into a 9-day holiday break off of a huge win. Talk about what this means going into this layoff, evening up your season record, winning now your third straight game.
Well, it just, you feel good for the kids because this is a lot of their first times being at college, going home for this long, and now they get to feel good, go home. They know coach is happy. They know when they get back, practice will be hard, but it won't be a mean hard. It will just be hard. And as I said, these kids are really working and continuing to get better. This is just the start. We're going to keep getting better.
Well, Coach, congratulations on this win. Thank you for joining me, and have a very happy holiday.
All right. Merry Christmas to everybody.
That's the head coach of the Monmouth Hawks, King Rice. His Hawks victorious 87-78, as we're now going to be joined by Max DiLeo. Max going to join us after scoring a career-high 18 points in this game. And, Max, I have to ask you, down double figures in the second half, we saw it looked as though you just kind of said, I'm going to take this game over for a little bit, get to the basket. What did you see out there?
I always say in the huddle that it starts on defense. So I just told everybody, we got to start on defense. We're going to get a stop, and hopefully leads to a fast break layup. And that's exactly what it did a few times. We got some fast break layups. And then even if it didn't lead to a layup, it got them. They didn't match up right. And then we got some threes. And, it really helps when you got Red and Dion on your team because they just focus on them and some other people got some wide open shots.
And as much as, on the radio, we like to talk about offense, but I know Coach mentioned it. Your defense on John Severe in the second half was huge. What were you able to do to kind of fluster him a little bit after he had that really big first half?
He's really good going left and pulling up. And he was making all of his shots even with a hand in his face. So, I decided just to force him to his right because he's not good pulling up, make him try and finish in the lane. And, he didn't shoot as much when I did that. And he tended to kick it out, and he had a few turnovers. So I think that really helped us.
And, Max, final question. It seems as though this team, when good things start happening, they come in waves. And you're able to, even though you fall down, you make your own big run to come back, tie it, eventually win the game. Just talk about how important that momentum is for this young team, because it looks as though once you guys get rolling, it's really hard to stop you.
I talk to Jiggy when we're on the bench before the game every time. We're usually one of the first two subs. I tell him as soon as we get in, we got to bring the fire, we got to get some stops, and we got to use that momentum and keep it going. And I always tell the guys that, once we get up and on the run, we got to take it easy. We can't take any crazy shots. We just got to keep playing solid, and usually that leads to a bigger run.
Well, it ended up working tonight, or this afternoon rather, 87-78 over Fordham. That's Max DiLeo, a career-high 18 points here at the MAC. Max, congratulations. Have a great holiday.
Thank you. You too.
For Max DiLeo and the head coach of the Hawks, King Rice, as well as my broadcast partner, Steve Bazaz, on the Shore Sports Network. I am Eddie Acapinti. Monmouth victorious over Fordham, 87-78. We appreciate all of you watching and listening this afternoon's broadcast. Have a great holiday, everyone.